Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of the Ratliff Mandolins Weekly Production Diary. It's episode 141, believe it or not. And it's going to be, this week's work week is going to be a whole lot like last week's work week. We have mandolin number 4 here. I need to smooth sand it and shoot some more finish on it, so that'll take up a good portion of the week. Also have mandolin number 3 here that is still awaiting the strings, the hardware, and all that sort of thing. So that's on the job jar list this week. These mandolins here that still need to have binding put in the peg head, or on the peg head actually, they're on the job jar list. And then of course we've always got mandolin number 1, which we're doing the fancy inlay around the neck heel and on the back, and some added portions on the inlay that we've already installed around the tailpiece. So that'll be on the job jar list this week, and you'll probably see, we'll hopefully see little bits of that all during this video. And I will share with you what I got done on the weekend projects this weekend. These little pieces for the Celtic cross, I finished carving and staining on all of these, and so here's some footage of that so that you can see what it was going to look like all put together. So these are all carved out now, every one of them, and you can see where I've at least tentatively penciled on some of the carving that we're going to do on the cross proper in the same style. And we'll step outside briefly and I'll show you my retaining wall out of telephone poles. A friend of mine brought these telephone poles, and so we built a retaining wall out of 2 of them, big ones. That big one on top is I think 25 feet 3 inches long. So we rolled those up and then rolled them on top of each other, and we're going to backfill behind those things and have a little gardening area, a flower bed, so that you can just walk right up, and us old folks around this house anyway don't have to get down on our hands and knees to grow things. We can just walk up there and work on our plants. So that's the idea behind that. That was a big portion of this weekend's stuff, which is why I got so little done on the Celtic cross. But anyway, it's Monday morning and we are going to start our work week probably right here with mandolin number 4, because it's the one that it's time to do, really. So here we go. Well, this is great. I have sanded mandolin number 4 smooth and slick. Didn't have any places that needed going back and touching up or anything. It was ready to shoot the final coats finish, and I have shot the final coats of satin finish. Looks nice. Nice little textured satin finish on it. So basically I'm done with it, and it's ready to hang and cure until it's ready for the strings. So here we have mandolin number 4. There's a good back shot, sides, front, beautiful reddish to yellow sunburst, and it'll hang right there until I'm ready to put the hardware on. Now I'm going to put strings on mandolin number 3 in the batch. Whole series of steps to be able to do that. We're going to clean off the tape, add a nut, add a bridge and fit the bridge to the top of the mandolin, a tail piece, tuning keys, and that's pretty much it. Then it'll be ready for strings, and I'll play it and we'll see what we come up with.
So that's mandolin number 3 in the batch. The only thing I really need to do now is put the tags on the inside, assign its numbers and all like that, and engrave the tailpiece cover and put it in the case. It's ready to go. Now that number 3 is finished, I'm going to spend the rest of the week doing the binding on the peg head of the 3 mandolins remaining that need to have that done. And in amongst that job, I'm also going to do the inlay work on mandolin number 1 here. We have most of the inlay in the tailpiece area, all of the inlay in the heel area, and now we're just going to do this little bit here on the back, and then of course the peg head. So that's how I'm going to spend the rest of my week, binding peg heads and inlaying mandolin number 1. Well, as with most weeks, you blink and turn around and it is Friday evening, pushing 6 o'clock pretty hard. So I'm going to close this video off. Let me recap and kind of give you a good idea of what all got done this week and where we're at in the batch. Mandolin number 3, you saw, had strings put on it, and it will be on its way to its new home in New Mexico next week. Mandolin number 4, of course, has got the final coats of finish on it. Mandolin number 1, I got all but just the last couple of little tiny pieces of the inlay put in the back. So it's almost done and ready for the peg head, which we will probably take up as one of the projects for next week. All of the binding, all of the peg head bindings that we started out being undone earlier this week have been taken care of. They're all still rough with some glue squeeze out and need to be cleaned up and all like that, but all of the peg head bindings for the mandolins in this batch have been taken care of. And next week we will, like I mentioned, we'll probably tackle the peg head binding in mandolin number 1. Mandolin number 6, I think, is going to have some interesting inlay, and we may tackle that as well. And of course, we'll probably want to try to get strings on mandolin number 4 and get another fretboard ready and fretted and some finish on that as well. So next week will be kind of a busy week, just like this week was. So hopefully you'll come back and visit with us next week on the next episode of the Ratliff Mandolins Weekly Production Diary. Hope to see you then. My name is Audie Ratliff. Hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you so very much for sticking with me to the very end of this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.